Okay, we're making the dish is spaghetti bolognese. We're doing tagliatelle bolognese. It's a slight difference because I feel like making pasta and I don't have a spaghetti press. Trying to remember exactly what this. Ah, okay. So tagliare is the Italian word meaning to cut, and the L ending is a diminutive, so it means to cut small. But we're gonna start off by starting our bolognese because that's the one that takes a hot minute. This needs to stew and develop flavors. You need crushed tomatoes, red wine. I have a Sangiovese because I like it for this. That's a little bit outside of my budget, master. Of splits. Just a little bit outside my budget. Also, wasn't even in the vote. Welcome on in. We're gonna need stock. This is chicken. You can use beef. Ground beef. No, you can't replace this. You need ground beef, or I've seen people use pork, but beef is best. Onion, carrot, celery. For the bolognese. For the tagliatelle. Semolina flour, eggs. How dare you work young? Also, you know you can, like, revive your streaks. Oh. It was Friday, wasn't it? Yeah, special events isn't supposed to, like, take the whole VOD down, only part of. For some reason, putting it on special events, like, disabled the entire VOD. We're gonna start. I need a little oil for the pan. That's what I forgot. My bad, young. You'll just have to start over again. Yeah, I didn't realize it was going to do that until it was too late. I have it set up that it doesn't save special events to VODs, but A, I don't really know why I do that anymore. There was a reason, I swear. I just don't remember what it was. And B, I thought it was only supposed to take down the part of it. Oh, special events have been around as a category for a while. Yeah, it's what you're supposed to use when you co-stream. And since I was co-streaming, Wholesome Snack, that's what I was in. Though tonight I've got a Amy. Hi. Do you want to say hello? You can't come up on the table, but you can say hello. Sup? Look at the camera. No? Okay. So for this, you are gonna try and come up on the table anyway, aren't you? Why would I expect anything else? Turn on. Turn function. Yeah, 600's fine. Can? Little oil in the pan, get that heated. While we do that, we can start working through. So for this, we want a smaller dice than we'd normally do. Not quite a mince, but definitely more towards that end. Digital circus. Have fun. You want to stay together, please? We'll be here. We'll see how long this is going to take. After this, play a little Dreamlight, try and figure out how to make some latkes. Because you guys don't get to vote for next week. I've already made my decision. Latkes, applesauce, sufganiyot. I'm not making a damn hot dog. You don't want to see how hot dogs are made anyway. A boiled hot dog? What do you think this is, New York City? I don't have access to dirty water. Onions started. While that's going, we can big carrot. Now the fun part. I need to get a carrot cut small. And just the tip. Cut a side off so you can have a nice even spot. This is going to be just a touch tedious. This is julienne, basically. Fresh made. Boxed is fine, but fresh made old school by hand, hard to beat. If you're gonna make fresh made pasta, you'll either need semolina or double aught. But before we get the pasta, we gotta get the bolognese going. Yeah, shut up. I know. You don't like being picked up. In the words of Ina Garten, if you don't have fresh made, store-bought is fine. I guess. Never served Gordon Ramsay anything. That's how you get on Kitchen Nightmares, serving him food. Yes, Skittle? Hey, Raptor. Yeah, me too. I think 30 minutes out of the farm is a tad unreasonable. But unless your restaurant's literally on a farm. Not gonna say running a farm with a restaurant on site is not among my dream jobs, but the pricing on that is something else. It's raw! What are you? An idiot sandwich. Yeah, he's being particular on Hell's Kitchen. You come in there basically going, give me a restaurant. He's like, earn it. And then people give him crap because he holds people who want to be handed a restaurant to a high standard. Yeah, watch MasterChef Junior, watch Gordon Ramsay with kids. He's actually a really nice person when he's not holding adults to a high standard. Like, that is a character that he plays. Also, hi, Bellanissima. Cooking streams damn near every Friday now. When we're not playing cooking games to find what to cook. Almost done processing this giant carrot. Which has decided in part that it wants to like curve. Really helpful. After this, the celery. Then I think we're gonna toss the heat up a little bit. If I had my Dutch oven already, I'd make this in the Dutch oven, but that's not coming until next week. I would fucking hope not. All I remember is watching one episode of Kitchen Nightmares where the, like, chef who'd been cooking for, like, 30 years was, like, arguing vehemently with Ramsay about whether or not you had to salt your chicken, whether it was worth doing. Like, when you deal with things like that, I can understand being a little bit done with people. Spaghetto is actually not a new word. Spaghetto is a big spaghetti. How many? I think I need like 3? We'll see where 2 gets us. So like spaghetti is the baseline. And then if you have really thin, it's spaghettini. If you have really big, it's spaghetto. Or, wait, no. Spaghetti is the plural, spaghetto is a singular. Never mind. Ah, yes, let me put all the work to making sure my dish is fresh, and then freezing the end result. Spaghetti is... There's a joke about, SpaghettiOs are the female form of spaghetti, but, you know. Yeah. The I ending is pluralization. O is the singular form. Ini is diminutive, though. So spaghettini is a small spaghetti. Now, honestly, I do enjoy watching Kitchen Nightmares, but I can also understand why actually running that show would drive a person mad. Like, this is a world-renowned chef, and you're arguing with him about whether you need to salt your meat when you cook it. Right, spaghettoni. That's okay. Spaghetti. Spaghettini is thin. Spaghettoni is thick. You can kind of apply that. It's a suffix. I used to study Italian. It's been a hot minute. I studied Italian, learned enough to function with, went to Italy, and promptly forgot it. Spaghettoni sounds like a mob nickname, yeah. Hey, get over here, Spaghettoni. Let's stop this train of thought before it goes thoroughly out of the station and off the rails. I so love doing fine dices. This was definitely my favorite part of cooking school. Yep. You think the customers would be happy if they know what you're serving them? Are you happy serving that? Then don't. I don't know. When I worked in kitchens, my approach to the food was always really simple. If I wouldn't eat what I'm serving, how the hell am I expecting anyone else to? I mean, yeah, as a chef, you should be cooking what other people want, but I think as a baseline, you shouldn't be cooking something that you yourself wouldn't eat. Aside from me not cooking cilantro, but that's... tastes like soap. But yeah, there is a lot of kitchen nightmares where they like ignore customer complaints or let just like the customer doesn't know what they're talking about. Well, the customer is ultimately what pays your bills. So I think you should at least consider that maybe, just maybe, they do know what they're talking about, or that their opinion matters. Okay, now that everything's in there, we can pull the heat up. Where's my water? There's my water. The worst part... yeah, so this is mirepoix, carrots, onion, celery. It's, the French Trinity. In Cajun cuisine, you swap the carrots out for bell pepper. In a lot of Indian cuisine, you swap the carrots and celery out for ginger and garlic. Like, there's a lot of trinities that exist in a whole bunch of cuisines. Usually have onions. That's a good thing, not knowing what soap tastes like. It means your parents never actually washed your mouth out. Have you ever met any vampires in Italy? That's my point. Gonna cook this down a bit. A little bit of salt here to let it get started. I mean, honestly, have you seen any vampires in Italy? They cook with a fuck ton of garlic. There's crosses everywhere. Imagine a vampire surviving there. Also, I've just, like, accidentally taken a swig of water out of a cup or a bottle I just cleaned, and there's still soap in it. Yeah, that's the thing that's happened. Garlic-resistant vampires? Well, that's mildly horrifying. Okay, that's starting to cook down a little bit. We can get ground beef in. I want to break this up. Yes, that's, they're called aromatics, vamp. They have aroma. And we will quickly learn why I wish I had a Dutch oven for this. But say levy. While that cooks down, we can start on the pasta. I'm not going to need a knife until we're cutting the pasta. That's for our wine. Don't need that for a minute. Just need to set this aside. There was a book that I got a couple of years ago called Ratios, which posited that a whole bunch of baking can really just be distilled down to various ratios between 2 ingredients or 3 ingredients. It's a distillation of the concept of a baker's formula, which is that all baking is just the various ingredients in a set proportion to each other, and you can scale it up and down infinitely. It's how someone can make a single cake or 1,000 cakes off of the same base recipe. But this made it a lot. It's still really... This distilled it down even further, saying stuff like bread, 5 to 3. 5 parts flour, 3 parts water, done. Pasta, 3 parts flour, 2 parts eggs, done. Don't worry about percentages, you can get things in ratio to each other. So what this means... Hey, Scribe. Doing well. How are you? We are making Tagliatelle Bolognese. Eggs are about 2 ounces apiece, give or take. There's a little bit of variation, but not a ton. This means for every 2 ounces, for every egg we use in our recipe, we need 3 ounces of flour. So if we're doing 6 ounces of egg, which is 3 eggs, we need 9 ounces of flour. Put our 9 ounces of flour on the board. Make a well in the middle. And one, two, three eggs. You want to get this beef cooked down, browned. Develop a little caramelization, and then we're going to deep glaze the pan with the red wine. A little bit of stock, our crushed tomatoes, and then we just stew this. Everything looks like a weird Metroid if you look at it the right way. I don't know. Honestly, the 1 pound, 1 pound, 1 pound pound cake recipe worked pretty well. You want to whip up your eggs in the middle. Stick the fork into the egg yolk and then just shimmy it around. That'll break it down. And you're going to try and put a bit of salt in there. Slowly work your pasta in, or work your flour in to your egg yolks. Trying to keep it as contained as you can. Eventually it will break confinement no matter what you do. But your goal is to get it pretty together by that point. So it's not just egg oozing around. There's enough flour built into it. Then we start the really fun part. Steadily, we'll work it together. As you do this, it'll take in more and more of this flour. Generally, what I do is you pat it against, knead it a few rounds until it starts sticking to your hand again. Pat again. Yep, we are making tagliatelle. Thing about this is that ratio is a nice guideline, but every time you make this, your moisture level in the air is going to be a little bit different. The flour is going to be a little bit more saturated when you start, so there's going to be slight deviations. You need to adjust to them, but those ratios will get you started. I am currently, that is carrots, onions, celery, and ground beef. Hey, Mini Kongs, thanks for the follow. Yeah, mirepoix. This is coming along. I think we might have a little more flour than we need on the board. We'll see. Like, this will slowly pick up more and more to this as we move on. Generally, I know it's done being rolled when it gets nice and glossy, stops taking in more flour. Also kneaded. Rolled is later. Vamp, is my bench scraper out there? Yep, thank you. The more you do this, the more of a feel you get for it. The big thing is, as you go along, this dough will be tougher to knead. When it starts to get like that, you need to let it rest. So that needs to rest for like half an hour. While that's done, we're going to continue working on this. I'm just going to go rinse my hands off. You want to be... Mel, are you trying to spend a bunch of points to make the Moroccan carrot soup get made? Is that what I'm hearing? Right now, my plan is next week we're going to be making latkes, sukanayot, applesauce in honor of Hanukkah. And the week after, I'm out of town. And the week after that, I'm just going to, you know, succumb to the fact that Moroccan carrot soup has tied the poll twice, and the only reason it didn't... Well, it tied once, and the only reason it didn't tie this week is because I told Vamp I'm making that. So, first cooking stream of the new year might be Moroccan carrot soup. I also have a thread that I'm going to be opening in the cooking stream channel after stream. It's basically, sometimes I don't have a chance to like play a game to find a dish. Either I'm out of town the week before stream, or what I'm cooking took too long. And I'm going to give people the chance to just post things they want to see in that thread. So we'll have a constant thread in the Discord that's just, what do you want me to cook? When I don't have something out of a game. Also, Mel knows this. I'm almost caught up with FF14. I have plans after I'm caught up. Where the hell? Fascinating. This doesn't have a pull tab of any point. But wait! There's more. Yeah, I mean, we're only gonna get... We've got, what, 2 classes to max level? Very careful about it, and it's mostly because I didn't have another option. I don't know where my proper bartender's corkscrew is that has the knife on the side. So we're also using a wing corkscrew. Which are not my preference, but Is it a good olive oil, Mel? Yeah, so these are wing corkscrews. They're decent. Oh, now she brings it in. As soon as I open the wine, look what appears. I couldn't find it earlier. If you want to bring some wine glasses, I can pour you some. Yeah. Some of them, like this, will have a sharp point and you can use that to cut the foil. Some of them, this. I think originally this was sharp and you could use that to cut the foil. But, you know what else you can use to cut the foil? A knife that's designed to cut the foil. This is Sangiovese. So if you go to the cooking stream channel, everything I'm using tonight is in there. I also like these because you get more leverage. I really like the two-stage ones. I don't know. Wing corkscrews are fine. Just ever since I started using a bartender's corkscrew, it's been my preference. So we're going to cook this until you can see the wine down in there. I'm surprised I don't have wine glasses in front of me yet. Yeah, these'll do. Good for a taste. So the wine is Castellani Toscana Sangiovese 2019. It's what I went into my local liquor store, wine shop, and was like, that'll do. Generally, when you're making any kind of like bolognese, any tomato sauce that you use red wine in, you want something peppery, tannic, strong. So like Sangiovese is good, Pinot Noirs are good, Bordeaux's are good. You just want something that stands up to the tomato and the ground beef and everything. But I have a preference for Italian wines. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Zootopia referenced that. Honestly, I want to see Zootopia again for just the amazing number of references that I probably didn't catch the first time around. Argentina, Zootopia 2. Both of them are good, but Zootopia 2 has a that'll do, pig. That'll do reference towards the end. Also it has what's his name? Hui Kwan? Argentina has decent reds, okay whites. Chile's also got decent reds. I just know the most about Italian wine because it's what I've taken the most time to know. I think Australia has decent wines too. Like, there's a lot of good wine regions. Most wine regions outside of like France and Italy are good for reds or good for whites. Not good for both. Or like one is significantly better than the other, but there's enough range of climates. I get Sangiovese's plenty. Yeah, this is a good red. Sangiovese is also just fun because so when I was in culinary school, we took a trip through the school to Italy, and before we did that, we had to like take a class on Italian history, all sorts of things. And at one point in the class, there was like a subsession on pronouncing Italian wines, and I won money by being the only person in the room who knew how to pronounce Sangiovese. So let's actually try this with an eye to explaining it rather than just me drink wine. Yeah, it's full-bodied, it without having like ridiculous legs. It's fruity and peppery without being tannic. It's got that cherry undertone that you want in a lot of reds. Yeah. I don't like steel cask Chardonnay. I think you're missing a lot by not oak aging your Chardonnay. But like, I can taste the wood and it tastes gross. Rude. Gewürztraminer is glorious. I love Gewürztraminer. Lot of relationship to Riesling grapes. Chicken stock. Again, we're just going to let that cook down. You know what else you can do? The bartender's corkscrew. Almost stab yourself. That. Do you not have fingernails? You can use that to get underneath. This board slowly shifted by the power of repetitive kneading. Yeah, Gewürz. Germany has really good whites. Germany is a white wine region. A lot of the white wines you see in Germany are related to the stuff you see in the New York Finger Lakes. Yeah. There's a towel under the board, but it's not perfect. Like, the force I put into the kneading caused that. It happens. Wine. There's still like a third of that bottle left, and that should be taken away from me before I drink the rest of it. I will be hand rolling and hand cutting these noodles. Yes. Because I felt like making noodles and I don't have a pasta roller on me. And I couldn't find one in time. This is great decision making. No, this is from City of Tears. This is Hollow Knight. I'm telling Dark you thought City of Tears was from Gris. I still need to play Gris. Do you want the really, really short answer? Because tagliatelle means knife cut. So if you knife cut noodles, they're tagliatelle. The really short answer is the noodles we are making mean that they are knife cut noodles. Tagliatelle isn't a specific width. But yeah, you could make wider noodles. Tagliatelle is a perfectly easy width too. Ooh. Okay, the spice pear cider after that red wine is fantastic. Oh, there probably is. I would honestly be surprised if there isn't mushroom bolognese. Or at least an adaptation of it. Pasta with rich and hearty mushroom bolognese. Amazing mushroom bolognese. 30-minute mushroom bolognese. Vegan mushroom bolognese. Mushroom bolognese, yeah, I think there's mushroom bolognese recipes. Which one did you find? Have you seen the ones that are marketed to kids that are like named after fantasy creatures? Like unicorn farts? And werewolf burps? They're okay. I just think their names are fantastic. This is just crushed tomatoes added in. We're gonna mix it in a little bit. They're unicorn farts and werewolf burps. Is that a flavor you know? So from here, this just kind of cooks down. Harkon pours himself another tiny... They're small glasses. They're small. Ah, yeah. The brown sugar clementine is good. Rather fond of that one. I think... What's this season? Brown sugar, clementine, blood orange, cranberry, spiced pear, and... Damn it. What's the purple one? There's 5 in the season. I can only remember 3 at the moment. Yeah, there's sugar plum fairy. How long is it? I don't think it's been half an hour since I set that aside. So the 2 things I have to do now is that this needs to cook for a while and stew down, and I need to like stir it every so often to make sure it's not burning to the bottom, and I need to make the pasta. You know, I really should have like checked the time when I put the pasta aside, but that would involve forethought. Vamp, get on it. We need a heart-shaped plate of spaghetti for that heart emote to hold. I thought the tomato sauce we had from our CSA was crushed tomatoes. Also, no thoughts, head empty. It's been a week. Who the fuck do you think saved the day? The person who works from home and can save the day? So it's been like 10 minutes. Oh. Yeah, mild jealousy of the fact that someone works from home 4 days a week and someone works in the office 4 days a week. If you want some more wine, I suggest you come and get it. Why are we taking the office to Panama? That seems really weird. Dude, like I need to write this wine down. Because I feel like I need to get it again. you don't see off that way was Vamp just walking in, grabbing the bottle of wine, and leaving. This is how much wine I have left. Now the question right now is, do I start playing Dreamlight Valley while this cooks and then come back to it? Or do we just sit here and wait? Yeah, Vamp, if you want to upload a picture of the wine. I'm pretty sure I have potatoes. I definitely have onions. I also have to, like... in-game, not IRL. I have not grown my own potatoes. Don't worry. I also need to join Vamp's stream team, which I think is, like, mildly my stream team. Or dream team. They're dream teams. What did we call it? Chef Kabiddi? Yeah, Dreamlight Valley is the Disney-themed, like, farming sim. And you have a farm plot, and there's, what, like... 18-ish ingredients you have to grow in the base game. And one of them is potatoes, another one is onions. So you have to, like, upgrade the market stall in the appropriate region to unlock the ability to buy the seeds, to get access to the ingredients, to yada yada words. There are amethysts. They are not a cooking ingredient, much to Abigail's dismay. Last week, chat told me to stop being mean to Elliot and asked me why I'm mean to Elliot. I didn't have a good answer besides Mel likes Elliot, therefore I'm mean to Elliot. I mean, no, I would never be mean to Elliot. Elliot's amazing. Elliot's the best denizen. Yep. You just want to be on the beach, Mel. Mel wants to be a beach bum. The children, they yearn for the mines. It's me, I'm the children. Oh, did Vamp post the wine bottle? Yep. It's a good wine. If you can find that. Man, you think you know a person, and then they're just like, I like Elliot, I hate the beach. You think you know a person. No, honestly, the thought of Mel at the beach is just like, this feels wrong. There's sunlight here. This is the person who doesn't like My Chemical Romance because they're not dark enough. They're too whiny. Bet you listen to The Cure. That's not an insult. The Cure are great. I have not watched The Craft in a while. Vamp, are we due for another The Craft watch? Mel's opinion is it's always time for another The Craft viewing. When you watch The Craft, are you required to eat Kraft mac and cheese? Okay. I mean, this seems reasonable. How many other foods are... Watch The Craft while only eating things produced by Kraft Heinz, ignoring the fact that Kraft and Heinz split up? Kraft mac and cheese falls firmly into the category if it doesn't taste good, it tastes like nostalgia. I know I let that rest sometime before 8. So I'm just gonna kill like the next 10 minutes and slowly stir this and watch it stew down. Why are you hungry? Is it because you smell the food? Whee! Okay, I just yeeted that somewhere. Okay, I found it. It's fine. Yeah, I also forgot to have lunch. And the food is taunting me. Papaya. I don't need this anymore. I'll need that later. You give it about half an hour. It'll start to be a little bit more malleable. Like, it was starting to get a little firm in that time. You mostly just... So the reason you need to rest it is this will give time for the gluten to relax, so you don't get such a tense dough, and the moisture to more evenly distribute through. It usually takes about half an hour, which I think we're at half an hour since I let the dough go alone now. It could be fun to have challenges where where people are like, make a dish inspired by this movie or something. Love spell cocktail. Some kind of... Wait, there was a craft? Are we talking about a game? You're doing this, you want to be able to see your finger through it. It's like you can see your... So when you look, you can... You're looking to be able to, like, see the coloration on your finger through it. That's how thin you want it. Not just the outline, but, like, you can see the coloration of your finger. When you do that, you want to dust this so it won't stick to itself. You fold it in thirds. Wafer thin. Open it back up. Tagliatelle. We're going to start tossing it into a bowl. Keeping an eye on this. Okay, this is cooking down faster than I would have expected. So yeah, we're pretty far along now. I'm gonna have to clean up the table because the tomatoes are cooking all over. Let's drop the heat a little bit. The main benefit you get out of having a pasta roller rather than doing this by hand is that you'll get consistent thickness across the entire batch. But it's not like the end of the world. Part of the fun of Tagliatelle is that you're a little bit rustic, imprecise. I don't know, the smell of tomato sauce cooking is pretty damn good. You could make this with mushroom. Mel just wants me to start cooking vegetarian. Don't want me cooking too many things that you wish you could eat? Ah. One of the reasons that it's really good to roll out your pasta on a wood cutting board is, in addition to the seeing your finger, an easier test is that you can see the wood grain. Yeah, honestly, you could probably just add the mushrooms into the mirepoix and not alter this dish any other way, and it'd be perfectly good. One of the good indications that you've made the pasta well is that it won't stick. Not a fan of celery, even cooked? Ah, tipemia babarici baba. No celery ever? Ever? That seems a tad excessive, but you do you. Does it taste like soap? Oh, you're gonna cook this so long? Also, one of these days I'll show you a trick on celery. So you see those? These are what stays stringy. You can, like, pull them. No, not peel. You can pull out that stringiness. Yeah, basically, and now that's not in your food. Generally, if a restaurant, fine dining, is serving raw celery, they're going to be doing that. Kind of like you'd clean the gills off of mushrooms. Like, there's things that make very minuscule differences in cooked applications. Especially if you're, like, really thin cutting something. That are actually pretty useful if you're doing raw. They're like, if things bother you, a lot of times you can mitigate it. And like, it's a very minor difference that most people don't bother with. But I did that in what, 10 seconds? It's not a lot of effort. Vamp, do we have tongs clean? I'm not thinking about how to cook the pasta in here. Thank you. Because this sauce is pretty much done. We just need to cook the bolognese. Or cook the pasta. Roll out one more section of it. Cook it. I will probably look into finding a pasta roller before I make pasta on stream again, but I just wanted to do it old school for once. It's been years since I've done it this way. Do not fold over like that. See if we can get that back together. It went back together just fine. It was a little too stuck to the board when I tried to pull it up earlier. Pasta. Where? No, I thought you were down there. I just want a little bit of water in this paper towel to wipe up the board before I put pan on it. Bolognese. Yeah, I know. Getting some water for you. Water. Now's the part where Vamp starts to get increasingly excited as the finished dish approaches completion. Oh, do I have to turn it? It turned itself off. Okay. But there. Salt the water. Grab some plates. Good lord, there's so many tomato pops around this table. You don't go in the trash. You go in the returnables bin. We are waiting for the water to boil. Do 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 do. I'll pull those when we're ready for them. No need for them to take up board space. Y'all can look at the tomato sauce. This is definitely gonna... Do you want me to test the sauce, or do you want to bring some out to Vamp to test the sauce? I believe my technical reaction is, holy fuck, that's tasty. I'm sorry. It was fresh out of the pan. Do I need to give you more heat? Okay, your spoon was hot, but was it tasty? I believe that's a yes. You'll get more as soon as this water boils and we make pasta. I believe Vamp's technical response is, I don't want to wait. It's almost boiling. Yeah, this is frickin' tasty. Now, see, here's the problem. On a stream, a pot is always being watched, and watch pots never boil. So I'm gonna need everyone to turn around real quickly. Yeah, of course it's salted. Imagine not salting your water. What are we, heathens? I don't see anything. You're a feather. Now, the real fun part about fresh pasta is how little time it takes. Y'all want some fresh nudes? Too bad they're mining vamps. Always my favorite part. Oh yeah, I need cheese. I also need this water to stop trying to boil over. Shouldn't have put it in the bowl. That was a mistake. Hmm? What's wrong with what one? Nothing's wrong with it, I'm just... They started to stick together, so I'm splitting them apart. I shouldn't have put them in the bowl. That's the reason I said it. They started to stick back together in the bowl because they rested. Yeah, I did. It wasn't effective enough. This is why a lot of times you'll see people like put them set out on plates. So I'm trying to pull them back apart in between batches. Generally, you're supposed to toss them with flour after you cut them. That will also help with this. Thought it was fine because they weren't really sticking together on the board, but they rehydrated, or the hydration shifted, and That like completely settled back together. Where's my other plate? Better. Okay, we have one plate. I just gotta find my cheese and I'll be just I am, yes. I'm muted to go out. And grab the cheese and never unmuted. I was saying I thought I was fine because after I'd rolled it out, it had opened up that easily. But never assume you're fine. Always take the right steps. Parmigiano Reggiano. Tagliatelle Bolognese. Vamp, come get your food. Dinner is served. You know, for Vamp. That's done. We can turn you off. We can slop some of the pasta water on the floor for some damn reason. This one's mine. I don't think you can really thicken the floor particularly well, but that made a little bit more bolognese than there was pasta for, but Manja! Hi, Amy. And that is Tagliatelle alla Bolognese. I am going to start shifting over, but I'm gonna eat. Ah, yes, I'm on the right account. Hi, Amy.